And good morning, Your Honor. Ivan Jurado, Washington Post Certified Spanish Interpreter.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It looks like Ms. Hernandez is here. Do you want to ask for Ms. Hernandez?
Señora Hernández, ¿se encuentra presente?
Sí, buenos días.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Buenos días.
Do we have Carolina Kamey here? Is that one of you?
Carolina Kamey se encuentra presente.
No, no sabría, la verdad. Nosotros no sabemos nada de ellos hace más de un mes.
Carolina también.
Oh, Jaime se encuentra presente.
How about Gerardo Soto?
Yes. Sí.
Yes.
Okay, good. And then Ms. Hernandez, you're Jamie Hernandez. Ms. Hernandez, what is your relationship to Lydia Hernandez?
It's my niece.
It's your niece, okay.
No, granddaughter.
No, granddaughter, I'm sorry.
Granddaughter.
Granddaughter.
Okay.
Interpreter correction.
And you're asking for the minor guardianship?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you. Let me go over a few of the requirements at this point.
Okay.
First, you need to serve each parent with the petition.
Mm-hmm.
That
Okay.
means somebody other than you needs to give them a copy of the petition personally.
Okay.
Dígale que yo.
Les tiene que entregar personalmente.
Oh. Ellos saben que yo estoy pidiendo la custodia de la niña.
They're aware that I'm asking for the custody of the girl.
Even so, they still need to be served with this petition.
Okay, está bien.
Okay, that's fine.
Dígale.
All right.
Excuse me. So we have really hard time getting in contact with them. I'm Erendira Hernandez. I'm the sister of Jaime Hernandez, and I'm also the daughter of Carolina Hernandez. So we have tried to get in contact with them, and it's really hard because they either change numbers, we can't track them. So the best way that we try to tell them about this court date as well, we sent Melissa's mother a copy of the court date of today, and we let her know that this was happening. And sometimes my brother gets on Facebook Messenger, so we sent him the copy that way, because sometimes when we try to ask them, hey, where are you guys, like just trying to figure out where they are is really hard, and that's the only thing that we could have done for now. We literally have no way of actually serving them these papers because they won't tell us where they are, or like we don't know where they are,
O ya están en la cárcel.
or they're in jail, or
Momentito.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a couple things. First of all, I'm going to appoint Ms. Hernandez an immediate emergency guardian, so she has authority starting today.
Fecha el día de hoy.
Thank you so much.
Second, I'm going to appoint a guardian ad litem who, as part of her duties, will be to help you determine how to take care of service. And that will be Sherry Farr. And Sherry Farr is on Zoom with us right now, so she can give you her phone number so that you can reach out to her and talk to her. So I'm going to set a review hearing.
How many months is the custody for?
The order that I'm entering is only good to the next hearing. We can't enter an order that's permanent until the parents are served.
Okay.
I'm going to set another hearing in 1 month. That will be on July 11th. And by that time, Ms. Farr should help you determine how to do the service.
Okay.
All right, any questions?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta?
Y si no se encuentran a la otra fecha.
And
We
what
can
happens if
find
we
the
still
other
can't
person.
contact
Well,
them?
only one person at a time. So let's go to
Sorry.
the person at Ms. Hernandez's house. Go ahead.
¿Qué podemos hacer si no los encontramos? Porque es muy difícil encontrarlos.
It's very difficult to get in touch with them. What happens if we do not able to contact them?
We will determine that later. There are a couple options that we have.
Okay, está bien.
I will help you with all of that. That's why you need to call me.
Okay, está bien.
Gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's it. You're free to go.
Es todo por el día de hoy. Ya pueden
We're
colgar.
here to enter an
Thank you.
order of child support. I know the question came up last time as to whether the income of the petitioners should be taken into account. Ms. Powers briefed that issue and said that in terms of determining the basic child support obligation, it isn't taken into account. Apparently after that, it could be considered. Also, the parents have indicated they would like to take care of medical coverage. So I think we need to address that also. So I think I'm going to let Ms. Bliss comment first because I've read Ms. Powers' brief and there may be a comment to that.
Thank you, Judge. And I didn't provide a brief in this matter simply because there isn't a whole lot for the court to at least look at as for like direct authority. As you're aware, these statutes are relatively new, so finding any case law that directly hits on point was very problematic for me. I would just again refer you to 11-130-255 that gives you the authority to order one or more parents to pay support for the child. And again, the reasoning for my request to look at the petitioner's income is for the court's determination is what a reasonable and necessary amount of support is for these children. And looking at the economic security data provided by Ms. Powers, and thank you for that, it appears that the petitioner's household income is just over $6,300 per month combined. And that was looking at their first quarter of 2023 data. I asked
Ms. Bliss, go forward.
Okay. Again, just referring to that statute, you have the authority to determine if one or both parents shall pay support. We're asking Your Honor to use that discretion. And in our argument, in our declaration, nearly $2,000 per month taken from my client's household into this household, while I understand under the normal child support worksheets may be appropriate. We're asking the court to agree that that's excessive in this matter, given the fact that the petitioner's household income is just over $6,300. For purposes of medical support, my clients already have children enrolled in medical support. We provided documentation to show the court that that obligation is $665.51. I think if any child support worksheet is to be ordered or entered, that should be included therein. And then lastly, as Ms. Powers has already acknowledged, my clients do have a child living in their home that they are obligated to support. So a whole family deviation is also appropriate.
How do you understand, does the medical payment, how is that factored in? Is that a dollar for dollar credit or is it? Okay.
No. So typically it's included in that second page of the child support worksheets. And with that, it's not necessarily a dollar for dollar deduction. I think usually it's obviously you're never going to get the value that you pay for it, but I don't have the direct calculations, at least in front of me, of what that does to the obligation, depending on what you do.
I think the difficulty with the medical insurance will be that generally when one parent insures the child, it goes into the worksheets and it adds a proportional obligation to both parents and then credits the paying parent. But in this situation, the only parents on the worksheets are the parents who are paying the full amount. Right. So the court may want to do a deviation separately from the child support worksheets, because I think within the worksheets, it's not going to do anything.
So also, I do apologize, but I have to say this. With Taryn and Tyreek, they do not have the same medical as Raquel. I've been having to do a copay every time they get seen. They are supposed to be printing me out the different medicals that they have. I have been having to pay out of pocket. My husband just got, my fiance, sorry, just got billed for Taryn. $17,000 for when he spraying his hand. So with the boys, we are having to pay out of pocket for medical, but with Raquel, they still have Raquel on their medical, but the boys are not.
And it's my understanding all 3 children are still included. So either not accurate information was provided or maybe updated information needs to be provided, but all 3 children are still on my client's medical.
Okay, for some reason, my fiance is getting billed for the times Taryn is being seen. And we're also I just took him in a week ago and we got billed for the co-pays for some reason.
And at least is my understanding, if the children are on state medical and they have double coverage, there really shouldn't be any of those expenses. So it may just be, and I may be speaking out of turn here, but I think it may just be a accounting issue that might need to be revised on that one.
Okay.
Ms. Powers, any response?
Not really. We've submitted our proposed worksheets. I would agree that the court has discretion to determine how much the transfer payment should be and whether they're ordering full amounts against both parents or deviated amounts both parents. I do acknowledge that it's very unusual to have both parents living in the same household, and it is a large number if we added the transfer payment from dad and mom together. Dad's after the whole family deviation is $1,250, mom's is $664.
Okay. And is it the father that works at Stordal?
Yes.
Be putting the kids on his medical?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is appropriate, but this does include my income. I do part-time, so I only get about a $400 check every 2 weeks. So I don't get how they got $6,300 a month, because that's not true.
That's the household income between both parents.
Okay, yeah, my husband only makes about a $1,600 check every 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to set Patrick Kaiser at $900, but I'm going to give him a credit of $665, assuming he puts the children on his medical at Stordal.
They have been on medical since.
We're okay.
All right, so we just need to prove that, I guess, or show it, and
yes,
then
sir.
It will go down 900 minus 665. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. On just a minute here. Let me get to the other board. Bernadette, I'm going to set at 400 total.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Your Honor, my only objection is that I believe this is going to come out to a total that's less than the amount TANF is paying out per month. So the state would have an objection.
How much is the state paying out?
I'm looking that up right now.
They're paying $654 a month.
As long as the total is above $654, the state would not object to that.
I might need to increase.
Could I suggest that the credit for medical be divided between the 4 kids, and then instead of deducting $665, deduct $500, which is approximately just over 75% of the $665, since they have one child residing.
That would leave 400,
and that would get us above the 600
and 400.
Because the current calculations, based on my basic math, is $635, is what Your Honor had just ordered. So I do acknowledge that that's about $20 less than the current TANF obligation.
Okay. All right. I'm going to accept the state's suggestion. So we'll credit the father. We'll set it at 900, credit him 500. That leaves 400 obligation for him. And I'm going to reduce the mother's obligation to 400.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Can we set this for presentation?
Yes. How far out do you need it?
1 week is fine by me, if that works for Ms. Bliss.
That should be fine with me, Judge.
All right. That'll be the 20th.
Okay. And Judge, the only other issue before we leave today was the issue of the tax exemption. We didn't address that.
We didn't. And I think when the parents start paying child support, I think they are entitled to that at some point. So I was going to go even odd, starting with odd with the guardians and even years with the parents.
Your Honor, I also forgot to ask about a start date.
Yes.
The children started receiving TANF in November 2022. The state would request that we start at that point.
And Judge,
any comment on that?
As much as I would love to object to a November start date, I'd prefer to keep this out of the administrative courts. And I know if you set it any date after that, then we're still going to have the administrative court issue to address the November start date. So I think November is probably appropriate.
All right, we'll start in November.
Thank you.
2022. All right, any other questions?
Nothing further for me, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Bliss. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Everyone on Shiloh Weaver, we still need some time for Ms. Farr to complete her report. So I think we're going to put this out. I'm going to extend the immediate minor guardian or emergency minor guardianship until the next hearing. But Ms. Farr, how far out do you need to place this?
I'd like to ask for a month because it's going to take a couple of weeks for me to finish connecting and then get my report written.
Any objection? Ms. Woodruff, let's start with you. Are you in this case, Ms. Woodruff? Any objection?
No objection. That just seems like a long time since we've been in this case for a while now, but if it's what the courts need, then that's what the courts need.
Mr. Anagnostic? You're muted right now, sir.
I'm sorry, what date did Ms. Farr recommend?
Well, we didn't have a date. It would either be July 11th or July 18th.
I'll be on vacation from
When?
July 7th till the 28th.
Oh. Well, then that puts us into the first week of August, I guess. Be August 1 if we accommodate that vacation.
And that would just extend, sorry, the emergency. Okay. So it's in the same spot. Okay.
All right. I don't hear any objections, so I guess we'll put it out to August 1. And again, I'll extend the immediate emergency minor guardianship to that time.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Finally, thank you. Casey Erdvig, do you want to unmute yourself? Here you are. I think your case was held last week.
It was, Your Honor.
I thought it got set over. I was told it got set over to this week. I thought.
Who told you that?
I wasn't in court because I was taking care of my father who just got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, but her father had watched the court date and said that it got set over till this week. So that's what I was told.
Yeah, I think we entered the full guardianship last week, but if you give me a moment, I'll go back to last Tuesday's docket. Oh, so it got put over to Thursday is when it got put over because we had a power outage on Tuesday.
Oh, that's correct.
Okay, so Thursday at 10:30?
No, it was last Thursday.
Oh.
Maybe we did. Let me take a look here. I don't see. Well, I think we were here for the full guardianship at that time.
I'm trying to remember. One of the cases you asked me to prepare the order. I'm not sure if it was that one or one of the...
Yeah, it was that one.
Okay.
And it was to be circulated to everyone.
Right.
I'm not sure what that means. Circumstances have changed drastically in our situation. So I'm not sure if any of that's being taken into account or if I'm not sure what my brother has shared with you guys and what's going on in our family or not, but
so
go ahead.
Mr. Irving, I'll say two things. One is, I think your brother, I think this needed to be continued for beyond the emergency minor guardianship, but I'm not sure your brother views this as a permanent arrangement. So the first thing I would suggest is talk to him if he feels that a change needs to be made or that we need to move towards termination. Then you can discuss that with him.
Termination, I'm not sure what that means.
Termination of the minor guardianship.
Oh, okay.
Which would leave you as the parent essentially needing to have a parenting plan.
Okay.
Secondly, if you don't reach an agreement, you can petition in this docket, the minor guardianship docket, to terminate the minor guardianship if you think that you're now capable of taking care of Parker. Okay.
Okay. Well, so does he have the right to, he's ended my visitations. I haven't got to read at her last 3 visits. He's not speaking with me. He's nothing. So I have no idea what is going on whatsoever. Is he even capable of doing that? Does he have the authority to do that?
Well, I guess technically he has the authority. I was under the understanding that he was cooperating with you so that you would see Parker.
No, absolutely not. He's done everything. I can't see her. I can't talk to her. I showed up and left her birthday presents on his porch. I was there for my visitation. He wasn't home. He wouldn't answer his phone calls. He won't nothing. He made a post on Facebook that I wasn't going to be seeing her anymore, but he never told me that. So I really have no idea what's going on.
So again, if you want that addressed, you can bring a motion to address visitation. That would need to be on this docket.
Right.
Okay. So, but is there another court date or is everything already done?
There's no specific court date. You would have to bring a motion, and then there's something called a notice of hearing, I believe, that you would fill out in order to set a new hearing date.
Okay. It's called a notice of hearing?
Yes. You could get that from the clerk's office.
Okay. Rewrite that down. Notice of hearing. And then a motion for visitation?
A motion. Yeah, you would probably write a declaration stating that you haven't had visitation and why you would like it. And then we'll have to consider it. Mr. Anagnosti represents, I believe, Parker.
Right.
Mr. Irving would have to weigh in and we'd have to make a decision.
Okay.
As an aside, part of the issue has been that Casey Irving has been attempting to get into a treatment program and has started and stopped a couple of them, which led us to the hearing a week or so ago that just terminated rights at this point. And yeah, she can bring a motion if she thinks, but treatment is going to be an issue.
Yeah, no, I did go to treatment and then I got sick with pneumonia and the treatment center wouldn't take me back because I was contagious. And in the meantime, my dad has gotten diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and he has 2 weeks left to live. So I'm taking care of him right now at the moment. My brother knows this and he was okay with it. And it was kind of a family agreement that I could put treatment on hold to take care of my dad because there was nobody else to take care of him. And my brother works full time. And then he went and then did all this. And I guess it's not getting addressed in the courts. So I was kind of taken by surprise about all this. I had no idea. He wasn't, I don't know. I had no idea any of this was happening.
All right. Well, you can approach this any way you want. It sounds like you might want to focus on your father first and then turn to this, but it's up to you, Ms. Irving.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'll get that order circulated, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
I think that's it for today.